Analysis. That's what you get from the other guys, but not here, not now, and not ever. This is the Baseball Insider Show presented by BCWSA. A look deep inside the game from a former player's perspective. The Baseball Insider Show presented by BCWSA is brought to you by BCWSA, The Pines Tavern, Penn Community Bank. We now go live for the Baseball Insider Show presented by BCWSA. Now, here are your hosts, Phillies Director of Fun and Games, John Brazer, and former pitcher from the 93 National League champion Phillies, Tommy Greene.
All right, welcome to the Baseball Insider Show presented by BCWSA. We are live from the CP Ranking Club at Citizens Bank Park. I'm John Brazer, joined by my co-host T. Greene.
Hey, pal.
What's up, Tommy?
Hey, thank goodness we're inside.
Yes. Well, I think we're going to get this game in. There's going to be some pop-up storms, maybe.
I think we need to take a machete out there and cut a hole in the air so we can see
it's a little
breathe.
humid out there. And it's funny because a couple days ago I was talking to John Duffy, who runs this place, and I said, maybe we'll go out to the rooftop at some point, not knowing what the weather's like today, and I'm glad we didn't decide to do the rooftop. So,
me and you'd had an issue together.
Yes,
today.
we would have had an issue.
I don't think it would have been me. Chris Ermer might have got you on that one.
Yes. Well, we are here, and Tommy, we're going to talk about the week in baseball. We went 4-3. We had no days off this week.
Yeah,
so,
no days off, and we're 4-3 for the week with everything that's going on.
That's going on, exactly.
I'll take a winning week, man.
So we have a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about the week in baseball, including a masterpiece by Christopher Sanchez.
Oh, it's been more than that.
Yep, it was very. Still the pitching's been pretty good. The bullpen's leaking a little bit. We got some injuries, but it looks like we knock on wood, we kind of avoided some bad stuff. After that game the other night, when Schwarber went down with a groin, when Harper went down, all in the same, and then and it's just a bad loss. It was very depressing, and then but
they got to make sure those guys are healthy.
Yep.
Well,
they
got to make sure those guys are healthy before they come back.
We do have a day off Monday. We have the All-Star break coming up. Who knows how long, but it sounds like it's not going to be. We avoided complete, what could have been a catastrophe.
Yeah, I mean, if we can get hot here, I think the silver lining in something like this, Brazier, I think, is the guys that are taking their place in the lineup and stuff right there are getting some steady play,
right,
to give them a chance to really get going,
Yep.
And hopefully that happens starting today, to turn around a little bit more.
And we have
a guy need to hit,
because we're facing a guy who's making his third start this year. Yeah. Who's been in the majors for a while.
Yeah.
Tampa for a long time.
By looking at his, last couple starts, he's thrown the ball
good.
pretty well.
Right. But it's something that we need to take advantage of.
Yes.
We need to get our veterans going, and that's Castellanos and Turner, and Merrifield's in the lineup today. We need to have the young guys continue to do well. So that's what we got going on. So we have a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about news and stats around the league. We're going to, including All-Star. All-Star voting started half an hour ago.
I think
for the second round.
You're my All-Star.
I should go? You're going to vote me in?
I'm going to vote you in.
Under what position?
Well, you're the director of fun and games.
Director of fun and games.
Hey, you got you make it fun for those guys out there.
If you vote me in, I got to go out to Texas and be in the All-Star. Be at the All-Star game.
Well, you like that stuff?
Yeah, it's fun.
I'll root you on.
All right. Well, we're going to talk about.
Then you got to take a bodyguard, and that would be me.
Exactly right. Well, we're going to talk about how you can vote, because right now it's all reset because we have a lot of guys. Harper's already in automatically because he was the top vote getter.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about who else is in contention, because right now it's just two guys at each position except for outfield.
Yeah.
And so we've got a lot. I think we have 6 guys that are in contention. So we're going to tell you how to vote for these guys so we can get all of our guys in, be well-deserved. We'll talk about talk about it right.
Finish.
Talk about it right now. We had the Sixers draft, the Flyers draft. I know you're not a big hockey guy.
No, but I like listening to you talk about it because you know what you're talking about.
But how about this? The Flyers drafted. I have no idea how good this kid is. I don't think anybody knows because he was 17 years old, the first-round draft pick. 17 years old, right? He played in the for the Golf Storm of the Ontario Hockey League with the 13th pick in the NHL draft. How about this name, Tommy? Jet, J-E-T-T, Jet Luchansky. Well,
that's a good name, man.
He's got to make it big if his name's Jet Luchansky.
Can he skate?
Yes, he's a very fast skater.
Okay.
He's a center.
Okay.
And he'll get bigger. He had 74 points in 68 games.
Well, you can hang out with me. I can get him bigger.
But I think that's his strength, that he's a very good skater. He
good.
Create plays. So, and they also got Jack Berglund in the next draft pick the next round.
And then they got
Big
somebody
center from Sweden.
before the draft. Didn't they get somebody from Russia?
Well, they drafted him a year before, and young guy Michkov, I think his name is.
Yeah.
And he's Russian, and his team over in Russia released him. So, he's young.
So
and
that's like a a win-win week for us, I guess.
I heard he weighs as much as Ermer, so I'm not sure. He needs to bulk up a little bit. Not you, Chris. You can do your job the way you are, but if you're going to be a center in this league, you might want to bulk up a little bit, right?
Get your buff on.
Yeah, get your buff on. All right. Sixers also had the draft. It's funny that they had the Sixers and the Flyers. All the NHL and the NBA have the draft. Yeah. So the Sixers. Now, you're a Carolina guy, right?
I'm a Carolina guy, but he's from Duke. I know you're talking about.
I know. I'm watching the draft.
Not that I'm crazy like you're in Virginia. You're nuts.
I am nuts.
And I say I'm not that. I don't have the favoritism for the school. I just pull for them.
I do not like Duke. I can tell you right now.
I like players, man.
I like this guy because I did watch him play, and he came
can
on.
Play.
Jared McCain. We also got some big guy from Nigeria who played at UCLA, Adem Bona, right? Big dude, right?
I haven't seen him. How big is he?
Big. Like 6 foot.
He puts the epitome in.
I think he's 6'10", 6'11".
He puts the G in big.
I don't think he's 7 foot, but he's right up there. He's right below 7 foot. But the interesting thing is that right now, I think free agency starts this week.
Yeah.
Right. So a lot of people speculating that it could be a sign and trade. So Jared McCain might be used as trade to get somebody out there. You got LeBron.
LeBron wheeling deal.
LeBron could opt out. Right?
I think they got to do something. I'm just what I'm hearing people talk about on the radio. So, with the way Embiid and just the way he's finished years. It's just he's not doing but getting older, and the physical side of it it's not looking good.
No, they're
for
in
him,
a win. They're in a win now. If you're in the win now, Paul George from the Clippers. Now he's injury prone.
Yeah.
He's older. He's going to cost you a lot of players.
Yeah.
He makes big money, but he could be that third guy to fill in for Tobias Harris' role. So if you had Paul George, Tyrese Maxey, and Joel Embiid, it's not bad. Again, you're just knocking on wood, hoping that he doesn't get.
Well, that's just the thing we always talk about. People always ask us about baseball. What's the key to it's staying healthy? Staying healthy.
Well, and we have our own issues. So.
Yeah. So.
All right. Also, we have a great guest coming on today. We're going to have Sal Agustinelli.
How about that, man?
Sal,
that's a name from the past.
If you don't know that name, Sal has been our international director of scouting for a long time. So he's responsible for Chooch. He's responsible for Ranger Suarez.
Yes.
He's responsible for Sir Anthony, a bunch of other guys. Now, we got Christopher Sanchez in a trade, but I'm sure he knew about Christopher Sanchez. So anybody that came over from the Dominican Republic or Venezuela or anybody, it's basically Sal. So, and we're going to tell the infamous Cabo story, which make sure we get to that. Make sure I don't forget that.
Okay.
So we're going to talk to Sal coming up. Also, we're going to talk to Scott Brandeth. We've had him on before. And now that we're approaching the second.
Yeah, we got to find out what's going on,
Exactly.
man.
Now that we're about to approaching the second half of the season, we're going to talk to Scott to talk about all the promotions and giveaways. In fact, I know on the July 11th, we have a Retro Night. So we're going to talk to him about Retro Night. Again, some of the cool giveaways. And one of the cool giveaways, Tommy, that he'll talk about is a Nick Castellanos basketball jersey. I'm telling you, the kids are
basketball jersey.
Yes, don't ask. I will let him explain it.
All right, I got
but
you.
I got to tell you, it's pretty. It's going to be one of the cooler giveaways. I know that I'm going to be asked by a lot of my friends for that one, and I'm going to tell them no, like always. So, all right. So we got all that. Hopefully, we're going to have Jason Firestone.
Yes, right. Jason, if you could hear this, we need you.
I texted him late, so it's almost a food SOS.
We should know we're home.
I know, right? So and now Sal's calling me on the cell, forgetting that he knows I'm on a radio show. So Chris Ermer is going to talk to him right there. All right. So let's talk about we'll talk about the week in baseball.
Yeah.
So Sunday night, because obviously we had a game on Sunday or a show on
last Sunday.
Yep. We beat the Diamondbacks, which is a needed win.
Yes.
And it was 4-1.
Yep.
And you know who the star of the game was? Guy we just mentioned, Christopher Sanchez.
How about that, man?
Because Christopher Sanchez went 7 innings pitched, 3 hits, 0 runs, 0 walks.
That's the impressive part
4
about it.
Ks.
That's unbelievable what he's doing.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's very impressive.
Very impressive, and the bullpen come in. Alvarado come in.
Yep.
Hoffman's gave up a few runs lately. Hey, he can't go the whole year and not give up runs.
Yep, we got to get Hoffman.
He's got to figure it out a little bit.
And
He's
Strong a little bit
pitches.
too.
Yep.
But this is one of those games that we got up 1-0. Castellanos in the second, sorry. And then Dahl had a 2-run single, make it 3-0 the sixth. And then the seventh, we extended the lead with Stott.
Yeah.
And really, they got a run off Hoffman in the ninth
to
go up 4-1. But really, the story of the game was Christopher Sanchez. We're going to get to him.
Well, it's unbelievable. I'm watching. I look at numbers. I look at the numbers and stuff like that. But the biggest thing I look a lot at. You see me highlight stuff on my paper sometime. And look, it's runners in scoring position. What we bat with that. We had 13 tries to drive. We were 3 for 13.
Right.
So we scored 4-1. We won 4-1. It had 11 hits, but we're not getting the timely hit.
You are right.
Is a huge thing. When we might have bases loaded or a man on second and third, or that timely hit to score both.
Thankfully, we've had the pitching. And Sanchez, I got to tell you,
he's unbelievable.
We're going to go to an early because we didn't even talk about a couple nights ago. But it is time now for the Smart Stat of the Week, brought to you by Payroll Service Solutions. Call them today at 1-866-PAY-EASY. That's 1-866-PAY-EASY. All right. Between Sunday night and just a couple nights ago, Christopher Sanchez had his first complete game shutout on Friday night. He finished June with a 1.64 ERA after having a 2.03 ERA in May. He allowed 0 home runs in May and June. The last pitcher in baseball to allow no home runs in back-to-back months with an ERA of 2.03 or lower was Adam Wainwright 10 years ago.
How about that, man?
You know who the last Phillies pitcher to go back-to-back months with an ERA of 2.03 without allowing a home run?
I have no idea.
That was Grover Cleveland Alexander, who did it 108 years ago. How about that?
That's unbelievable.
Is that? And then
that's getting it done.
We'll talk about Friday night, but Friday night, basically Sanchez, he had 3 hard-hit balls, complete game shutout, 3 hard-hit balls. Hard-hit balls defined by 95 miles per hour or greater. Nobody barreled up one ball. Nobody had an extra base hit. 21 of the 29 first batters, he threw a first pitch strike. That's 72%. And he had 73% overall strike rate. And he had 11 ground outs. That is getting it done.
That's getting it done. But the most impressive, the thing I'm seeing about it, because that was one of the things they were worried about, say to speak, when he first come over, was his command.
Right.
He hasn't walked anybody, dude.
I'm telling you.
The last 3 starts, he's walked one guy.
He is.
And that was 3 starts ago. The last 2, he hasn't walked anybody.
If we didn't have Suarez, Wheeler, and Nola, we'd all be gushing. Talking about as a number 1. He's our number 4. Technically, if you're in there's no such thing.
I know. But his numbers are playing like number 1s right now.
This rotation is absolutely phenomenal. And that was your Philly Smart Stat of the Week. Once again, brought to you by Payroll Service Solutions. Call them today at 1-866-PAY-EASY for the smart choice in payroll services. Call them again at 1-866-PAY-EASY. And you can watch the show live at WBCBSports.com or search WBCB Sports on YouTube. You can listen to the show on 1490 WBCB and 107.3 FM, your station in Bucks, Burlington, and Mercer County. And Tommy, consider a career at Septa. Septa is hiring a variety of skilled trade positions, including mechanics, electricians, plumbers, masons, painters, carpenters, welders, millwrights, and more. As a Septa employee, you'll earn competitive compensation and great benefits, including medical, dental, prescription, and a pension. Visit jobs.septa.org to apply today. That's jobs.septa.org. All right, Tommy, coming up on the show, we're going to have your former roommate on the show.
How about that,
My
man?
buddy. We're going to and again, we're going to talk Cabo, too. You're listening to the Baseball Insider Show presented by BCWSA. We are live from the CP Ranking Club at Citizens Bank Park.
BCWSA customers, former Phillies pitcher Tommy Greene here. I played on the 1993 National League champs, so I know a thing or two about what it's like playing on a winning team. BCWSA has all the ingredients. They make it easy for their customers to get automatic updates by text, email, or phone anytime there is a disruption in your service area. You can even customize your alerts by going to bcwsa.net. That's bcwsa.net. BCWSA, your partner for a safer environment. BC proven.
Head out to Dion Square, located at South Oxford Valley and South Olds Boulevard, to get all your essentials in one place, with the following businesses ready to serve you: Pat Dion Beverages, CVS Pharmacy, Hair Cuttery, Smile Culture Dental, Biomat, Liberty Auto Tags, Pennsylvania Fine Wine and Spirits, Lee's Hoagie House, R&J Smoothies and Juices, AutoZone, and First National Bank and Trust of Newtown. Make Dion Square your one stop for all your shopping needs at South Oxford Valley Road and South Olds Boulevard in Fairless Hills.
Energy costs are skyrocketing. Now is the time to upgrade your old heater and air conditioning systems to more efficient units to save on your utility bills. Harris Comfort can also handle all your propane needs, as well as providing sales and service on whole house generators. Harris Comfort is still family owned and has been serving our area for over 60 years, providing sales, service, installation, and peace of mind. Call 215-788-4596 or go to harriscomfort.com. Harris Comfort, still family and still local.
At Penn Community Bank, we're in the business of building thriving communities. That means breaking down the barriers to home ownership, supporting fair, affordable access to housing from Philadelphia to the Lehigh Valley, like our Home Opportunity Mortgage that empowers eligible borrowers with no minimum credit score, no down payment, access to grant programs, and so much more. Visit PennCommunityBank.com/home for more details. Penn Community Bank. Here we grow. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender. Account and feature terms, restrictions, and conditions apply.
With over 7,200 square feet of 200 brewers in stock at all times, Pat Dion Beverages now features 5 different flavors of their favorite slushy cocktails. You can also purchase all your wine, liquor, and other fine spirits right next door. Visit us on Facebook or online at patdionbeverages.com for upcoming events and samples from your favorite brewery or local food vendor.
We now return to the Baseball Insider Show, presented by BCWSA. Once again, here are your hosts, Phillies Director of Fun and Games, John Brazer, and former pitcher from the '93 National League champion Phillies, Tommy Greene.
All right, we are back to the Baseball Insider Show, presented by BCWSA. We are live from the CP Ranking Club at Citizens Bank Park. I'm John Brazer, joined by my co-host, Tommy Greene. And Tommy, we have one of your former roommates, and somebody you ran over in a golf cart.
No, I threw him out of a golf cart.
Oh, you threw him out of a golf cart. He is now senior advisor for international scouting, was head of our international scouting for years, and is is responsible for Ranger Suarez and
used to catch me too.
Sir Anthony and everybody else. So, Sal, welcome to the program. I'm so glad. I saw Sal walking up, and I said, you know what? Because I know we're going to be talking about a lot of the players like Suarez and everybody. Let's get Sal on. Sal, so you roomed with this guy.
Absolutely.
How was he as a roommate?
He's the best guy ever. Best guy ever.
Was he neat? Did he make his bed?
No making beds. Yeah. There were too many hotels.
Right. So he behaved himself.
He was good. There was a lot of beers in that room. Let's put it that way.
All right. That's a must.
That's a must.
After our game. Yeah.
I saw him we went to Costa Rica for my 50th birthday, and Tommy would have a Coors Light, and he would just crush it. He'd drink it, crush it, and literally down in about 5 seconds. And then we had a guy, Yimmy.
We called him
Yimmy.
Jimmy.
And he'd be like, Tommy must have said Yimmy, like basically, get me another one, probably about 20 times.
I'll tell you, he's one of the best golfers I've ever seen. I've never seen a guy hit a ball that far in my life.
It's like that Bugs Bunny episode when he hit a screaming line drive and the ball's screaming. His golf ball is screaming.
Oh, my God.
His son, too, can hit the ball.
Day.
Really?
My son hits it better than I do now.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right,
I used to be able to.
So wait, you threw him out of a golf cart?
I don't know. I can't remember exactly why it happened. I think I was going around a curve or hit the curb, and it threw us. It threw him out, and it threw me on him.
Yeah, he landed right on top of me, and after he landed right on top of me,
I was on a rehab assignment.
He was on a rehab assignment in Reading. I was coaching that year in 90, I think it might have been 92. And when we saw Fregosi that day, I said, hey, you know what happened? I fell out of a cart. He said, why are your shoulder hurting you? I said, well, Tommy Greene was driving the cart. He hit a curb. I fell out of the cart, and he landed on me. He goes, is Tommy okay? He didn't care about me.
Yeah, he's fine.
I
forget you.
You know, it's pretty funny.
All right, and then tell the story. How about I'll set it up.
Yeah.
So I'm in Cabo. Larry Anderson has a timeshare out over there.
Oh,
so I'm with this
don't say no more. I know what's coming.
This is probably 18 years ago, 19 years ago, right? Yeah. I'm with Tommy Brennan, who at the time was a bartender at Downey's.
Him in L.A.
Real good buddies with L.A. and LA. 3 of us go down to Cabo. And Tommy was wearing a Larry Anderson jersey. Yeah. We're all hanging out at the condo, and Tommy says, I'm going to go walk the beach. We're like, all right. So he goes walk the beach. Sal, take it over from there.
Yeah, so I'm sitting down on the beach down in Cabo. Mm-hmm. We were getting ready to go to the Caribbean World Series.
Okay.
So we were out there. We had a day off. We sat on the beach, me and Chilao Mendez, who happens to still be with us,
right,
scouting Venezuela. And all of a sudden, I see this guy with this Larry Anderson. I said, hey, you from Philly? He goes, yeah. I said, I work for the Phillies. He goes, I'm here with Larry and John Brazer. I said, where the heck are they? Let's go find them. And the rest was history.
Yeah, next thing you know.
Hey, say no more. Well, I know the way that went.
I mean, think of like me in L.A. We're sitting at the pool. And next thing you know, we see Sal. Like, we're in Cabo, St. Lucas. We see Sal, like, with Tommy Brennan. He's like, look who I found. I'm like, where did you find him?
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's a small world, man.
Right.
Absolutely. Small world.
All right, so Sal, we talked about, Ranger Suarez. Yeah. I mean, talk about it. He's pitching today. That's your baby right there. Talk about Ranger, what you saw in him many, many years ago.
First I want to thank, we had a lot of scouts, Chilao Mendez, Carlos Salas. We had a lot of scouts that were involved. He's from a town called Carora in Venezuela, which is up in the hills behind Barquisimeto. So one of our area scouts, this guy named Surdo, who's no longer with us, he was a lefty pitcher. They called him Surdo, and I can't remember his name because he hasn't been with us for about 10 years. But he brought him in as an outfielder, and he played the outfield. I watched him hit a little bit, and when he threw from the outfield, we were like, holy mackerel, this guy has got a hose,
Yeah.
And we got him on the mound, and once he started throwing, I was like, we got $25,000 to give him, so we negotiated with the
it's easy
guy,
to see. It's easy to see when you put a lefty on the mound.
Oh,
that throws
could you see his like what I'm impressed about is his presence. Like, he just is so calm.
His
makeup, and it just like. Did you see it at a young age?
John, I'll be honest with you. The one thing about me and Ranger have always been very close over the years.
Right.
Very, very close. And it was almost to a point where you got to be really, really careful how you evaluate guys, because sometimes he's so confident, and in a good way.
Yep.
He has a lot of humility, but he really has a lot of confidence in his ability. He doesn't let a lot of things bother him. And I used to be like sometimes he'd be on rehab, like not rehab, but working in spring training. And I go, God, I go, Ranger, what's going on? He goes, don't worry about it, buddy. I'm working on my changeup right now. I said, you threw like 20 in a row. That's why. He goes, I don't care about these guys getting hits in spring training, but he knows what he wants to do, and he has the most unbelievable makeup. And to be honest with you, obviously I've been scouting. I've been here with the Phillies for 35 years, and I've been scouting for a very long time. I learned a lot about that because sometimes we kind of, how it is in scouting, we kind of we look at the makeup and we kind of see the wrong thing.
He does. And a lot of things go into makeup type thing. I mean, the way you handle situations and stuff like that, but to see the way his barometer, the way it is, it never goes above this. Yes. It never spikes and goes this way. It's right there. And it's right. He never changes in the way,
And it seems like he's playing chess. Like the other guys are playing checkers, and he's playing chess, right?
Playing a different game.
He's an athlete, dude. Yeah. I mean, he feels his position better. It's good or better than anybody.
Unbelievable. He's just, it's a perfect mindset. I think in any sport he would play, he would always be good. A golfer, he'd probably hit a ball out of bounds, and be like, don't worry, I got this.
Right.
And that's the way he always came across. He goes, like on the mound, if something's going wrong, it doesn't matter. He could have the bases loaded or nobody on. He has the same demeanor at all times.
Well, that is a huge thing. I think, why do you think the big thing that's happened this year than the previous years it's got him on this roll early like this? I mean, and I got my opinion on it. I just think, him being on spring training and getting a full spring training.
And not having these issues.
And
no injuries.
To me, I don't know if I'm a big fan of the World Classic, and that type of thing. I want my guys healthy, or ready. Spring training is geared around pitching, I think. It's for our starters to be stretched out and ready to go. So I don't know what your thought is. I know there's things sometimes you with visas and stuff like that. I don't understand all that, why that's not taken care of before or if it can be, so I don't understand all that.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into that. I mean, basically Ranger got caught up last year where he got hurt during the Classic, okay? That's number one, and I think he got started late last year, and I think that's why. I think part of the problem was when he first came up, to the big leagues, they used him in a lot of different roles.
Right.
Yeah.
I think
Bullpen,
in the
starting.
bullpen. If you saw in the World Series, they brought him in the playoffs, and I think that this year, out of all the years other than last year, he felt like, I'm on this team.
Right.
I'm on this team. All I have to do is do what I do.
Right.
And and hopefully it works out.
And he had the experience in the playoffs.
And he got a full spring training in.
But you got a full spring training in.
And he was healthy.
And as far as the visa, it is a difficult thing. We had guys waiting in Colombia for a very long time to try to get the visas. The process is very, very difficult. And it wasn't just us. It was all teams that had problems. Our people did a really good job getting the players in at the time that they did, because there was a lot of guys that waited a lot longer.
All right, let's go to Rojas. Now, Rojas is another great find, right?
I mean, it's pretty amazing. Carlos Salas and Andres Geraldo are two scouts down in the Dominican Republic, and it was pretty amazing that, they went out and they saw this really, really athletic kid that no one wanted to sign. And it was his year. He was 16 years old, and it was actually in San Francisco de Margaritas, which is not the breeding ground for all the players in that area. They saw him, and actually I'm going to tell you straight up, because I want to give them the credit, is that they called me and said, look, we saw this kid. They explained him. His bat's a little crude, but he can throw and he can run like the wind. I said, come on, man, 10 grand. Let's go ahead and sign him. And the rest is history. So I want to give credit to my guys. Without those guys bringing them in, we don't get a chance to sign guys like that.
Not with some of those tools he's got. Now we just got to teach him how to bunt.
Yeah, exactly.
Just get one down. You don't have to be perfect. It's just something, because they're not geared to do it these days like we were in the past.
Absolutely.
They're just not geared to do it.
Now you also Sir Anthony, right?
Yeah,
was
Sir
another
Anthony.
find.
Same guy, Andres Geraldo. Saw him. I did see him. He had a tremendous arm. I can't lie to you. He had a tremendous body. He was 92, 93 when he was only 16 years old. We signed him, and, for a long time, Sir Anthony, was straight. His fastball was very straight. And our minor league people did a wonderful job giving him some movement. And I know he's had some struggles with his command, but I think Sir Anthony's going to be good.
Me and Brazer talk about it. He was always one of my keys to that bullpen.
Absolutely.
I think is a huge thing. They wouldn't need anything if he can corral it. And I think that's one of the big things, when you come off the injury he had, the surgery and stuff like that. The arm's there, the stuff's there. It comes down to when is the command, if the command, is that command going to come back like he had when he first come up. That was huge. That's the huge point.
You make an unbelievable point. And, for people out there listening, Tommy made an unbelievable – look, in my 35 years as a scout, what I've seen is most of the guys that come back from TJ, the first thing they do is they have trouble with their fingers because they don't have the feeling out front. Mm-hmm. And it was just one of those things where I really think that he's working through it, and I think that he's still young enough where I think he's got a chance to still be dominating.
Right.
Because the stuff is dominating.
Oh, it's still there.
Yeah.
No question.
But, Tommy, I think you hit it on the nose.
All right, let's go back in the time machine. I just saw him we saw him last for Cole Hamels' retirement. We saw him in London. Yeah. Some of us saw him in London, but Chooch. Now, you signed Chooch.
What a great guy, dude.
Here's a guy from Panama who wasn't a catcher when was an infielder, second baseman, right? To talk about the development or the scouting of Chooch.
Yeah, well, we had a scout there named Alan Lewis, who was part of the Panamanian Express. If you remember, they had Omar Moreno, and they had all these guys that can really run. He was the pinch runner on the Oakland A's team that won the World Series. He was the guy that come in and run for Sal Bando and all those guys, and they needed a guy to steal a base. So anyway, I don't even know how we got over here, but he was my scout in Panama when I took the job. He was in his late 60s. He's 83 now. He's retired. But he called me up on the phone. He said to me, I want you to come down right now. I just saw the best hitter that I've ever seen in Panama.
Really? Wow.
I said, wait, Carlos Lee, Rod Carew. I said, there's been some really good ones.
Good names.
I said, but no problem. I'm going. I don't care. So I flew down to Panama City, took him an airport. I had to drive to another airport to take this little prop plane to go over to see him. So I land in Cherokee, and it had to be 130. I remember the day clear as day because he was the only guy we worked out that day, and I threw BP to him. And Alan Lewis showed it to me, and we hit him some ground balls. I can tell you what he ran. He ran a 7.160. And at second base, he was a little, boxy, at second. But, boy, we threw BP to him. This guy was hitting line drive bullets all over the place.
You've been known to lock in some guys, dude.
So then when you guys got him, when did someone say, let's move him to catcher?
Well, that's the thing. I told Alan, I really don't love him at his feet a little bit. I don't think he's going to be in the middle infielder. He said, he can really throw from behind the plate. I said, holy crap, let's take a look. He got behind the plate. He went,
when you going to tell me that?
Yeah, I said, why don't we start there?
Right.
So anyway, as soon as we saw him, he said, well, he just wants to sign, whatever. And I said, well, let's give him a chance. And we gave him 8,000 big ones. And,
the rest is history. One of the great.
Now he's
I just want to say one thing. I love Carlos Ruiz. I think he's one of the greatest people I know.
Yeah.
I mean, all of my guys are. I love the guys' makeups and all that. But Chooch is just, Tommy.
He's the best. He's the best.
He's one of the nicest, awesomest guys.
Sal, I can't thank you enough for coming on. Thanks for being the lead right out of the bullpen. He came out of the bullpen. I saw him walking up here.
You're sweating back like we played together.
I'm loving it.
Hey, keep up the good work, and hopefully we'll see more of these guys through the pipeline. All right. The great Sal. All right, coming up in the show, we're going to go from Sal Augustinelli, the man, to Scott Brandreth. And Scott is going to go through all the giveaways. I see the bag of giveaways. We'll show it on right on YouTube. And
I'm looking forward to that.
And we'll talk about some of the promotions, including Retro Night coming up on July 11th when we take on those Los Angeles Dodgers. So all that, you're listening to the Baseball Insider Show presented by BCWSA. We are live from the CP Rankin Club at Citizens Bank Park.
1490 WBCB and 107.3 FM W297CL Levittown.
This is Tommy Greene from the 1993 National League champion Phillies. And here's the pitch. BCWSA water and sewer customers, you have a new and improved option to pay your bill that's convenient, reliable, and secure. Powered by Invoice Cloud, you can pay your bill 24/7 online, pay by text or phone, or sign up for AutoPay to avoid fees for late or missed payments. Visit bcwsa.net to sign up or for more info. That's bcwsa.net. BCWSA, proven.
At Penn Community Bank, our commitment to helping our customers and communities grow and thrive drives everything we do. Whether you are just starting out or setting new goals, we have the checking solutions that can flex to your needs at any life stage. And for a limited time, you can earn a $300 cash bonus for opening a qualifying new checking account with direct deposits in the first 60 days. Visit PennCommunityBank.com/cash bonus to learn more. Penn Community Bank, here we grow. Offer terms and conditions apply. Limited time offer subject to change. As for full details, member FDIC.
Energy costs are skyrocketing. Now's the time to upgrade your old heater and air conditioning systems to more efficient units to save on your utility bills. Harris Comfort can also handle all your propane needs, as well as providing sales and service on whole house generators. Harris Comfort is still family owned and has been serving our area for over 60 years, providing sales, service, installation, and peace of mind. Call 215-788-4596 or go to harriscomfort.com. Harris Comfort, still family and still local.
Head out to Dion Square, located at South Oxford Valley and South Olds Boulevard, to get all your essentials in one place, with the following businesses ready to serve you: Pat Dion Beverages, CVS Pharmacy, Hair Cuttery, Smile Culture Dental, Biomat, Liberty Auto Tags, Pennsylvania Fine Wine and Spirits, Lee's Hoagie House, R&J Smoothies and Juices, AutoZone, and First National Bank and Trust of Newtown. Make Dion Square your one stop for all your shopping needs at South Oxford Valley Road and South Olds Boulevard in Fairless Hills.
With over 7,200 square feet of 200 brewers in stock at all times, Pat Dion Beverages now features 5 different flavors of their favorite slushy cocktails. You can also purchase all your wine, liquor, and other fine spirits right next door. Visit us on Facebook or online at pattheonbeverages.com for upcoming events and samples from your favorite brewery or local food vendor.
We now return to the Baseball Insider Show, presented by BCWSA. Once again, here are your hosts, Phillies Director of Fun and Games, John Brazer, and former pitcher from the 93 National League champion Phillies, Tommy Greene.
All right, we are back to the Baseball Insider Show presented by BCWSA. We are live from the CP Ranking Club at Citizens Bank Park. I'm John Brazer, joined by Tommy Greene. Tommy, it was so great having Sal on. Loved it.
Man.
Yeah.
Hey, could you imagine him outside?
Yeah.
While we're doing this,
he was sweating.
He was a puddle.
Good thing we're not at the rooftop. But Septa off, before we bring on our guest, consider a career at Septa. Septa relies on and needs bus operators, train engineers, conductors. As a Septa employee, you'll earn competitive compensation and great benefits, including medical, dental, prescription, and a pension. Visit jobs.septa.org to apply today. That's jobs.septa.org. All right, Tommy, we have this guest on twice a year. We had him on at the beginning of the year to talk about the first half promotions.
Yes.
And now that we are over half the way through, game-wise, we're having on Scott Brandreth, who is our head of promotions, merchandise, we'll say. I'm totally butchering this, but he's the guy in charge. He's not only that, but he's also our historian. He took over Larry Shank's job as kind of the unofficial team historian. And
the Baron.
And
he took over for the Baron.
He's also the chief critic for the Backstage of Burgoyne and Brazier podcast.
Hey, give it to him,
If
pal.
we make any mistakes, Scott Brandreth will be on the scene
if
to
they
make
mistakes.
Yes,
you hear him say that?
Yes, if is a key word in there. How you doing, Scott?
I'm doing well, thanks.
All right, so again, we are halfway through. We're almost at the All-Star break, but we are over the 81 game threshold.
Yep.
So second half of the season, I see some giveaways
we
here.
got some new stuff.
You got to point them to the camera, too, when you give them away.
All right.
Why don't you just tell us what's coming up? Well, I know one of the things that's coming up is you want to start with Retro Night?
Yeah, 1980 Chick-fil-A 1980s Retro Night, July 11th against those Dodgers. So we like to have fun on Retro Night. It coincides with Throwback Thursday, so we'll be wearing the powder blues that night, which is what we wore back in the 80s. We're going to add back the Independence Hall patch for that night only to commemorate a little bit. And the kids that night.
That's
Have
cool.
you ever? Did you ever ride in one of these?
No, I did not. No, I was
this
like
was after you.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So
they had it, but you just didn't never pitch out of the bullpen, right?
Well, no, I was never. It was before me, I think.
Oh,
yeah.
I think it was because that's the maroon color. So, I come right at the end. I come in 90, so it was right there at the end.
That's a great giveaway.
92 was red and white. Well, I was here when we switched unis.
Right.
Yeah, so I was here a little bit, but never where they brought the bullpen guys out.
Scott, didn't one of the teams actually have a bullpen cart recently?
Yeah,
Milwaukee
the Nationals have one. Milwaukee gave one of those away, but the Nationals have one. The Diamondbacks, I believe, have one. I don't know if the guys use it, but they do use it for promotional purposes.
Okay.
So that was we had those in the 70s and 80s, and I remember watching those as a kid, bringing the bullpen guys in. So we've been wanting to do that for a number of years, and this year we were able to do
Now
it.
on Retro Night also, are they going to have the headshots? Like for movie, TV characters?
We're working on that with Fanavision right now. We're working on a couple things.
That's always fun.
Hopefully we can do some stuff with the scoreboard in right field.
There'll be music, right?
Music, a little bit more organ music in the game. We're going to have the Class of '84 tribute band.
Playing all 80s songs.
Yep, playing that. They'll be playing
and
pregame.
How about changing the bases?
Changing the bases, we have a few 1980s flyers thanks to our man over here.
Well, Tommy and I both golfed.
Brazer's the man when it comes to that stuff.
We both golfed in the Flyers alumni golf outing at DuPont. And I know you gave me a directive to go find some guys from the 80s. You probably weren't expecting me to get 3 guys from the Flyers from the 80s, but I decided to keep it all in the house. And instead of reaching out to the Sixers are the tough one because there's not a lot of guys from the 80s that are around. Eagles, we could have done that, and we've done it in the past. But I said, we're at the Flyers alumni outing. It was my birthday. Had a couple adult beverages, and I got a little over my skis. Not over my skis because I got 3 great guys.
Yeah.
We got Brian Propp.
How about Propper?
Greatest Flyer of the 80s. I don't think there's any, right? There's nobody better than Brian Propp from the 80s.
There you go.
We got Brad Marsh.
Yep.
Stud, right?
Yep.
Head of the Alumni Association.
The biggest set of paws you want to shake hands with.
He's a big man. And then, in case there's any trouble with the Dodgers, we're playing the Dodgers, right? In case we need any, in case any Dodgers get out of line, right? Yeah. Or somebody gets out of line, we got Ed Boxcar Hospodar, who was the brawler back then. And nobody better than Ed Box. There's no greater nickname than Ed Boxcar
for a brawler,
Hospodar.
absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
So we'll put him on third base so he can kind of maybe try to beat up the Dodgers.
There you go.
Right.
Yeah, that'll
be close to the dugout.
That'll be a fun night, and you never know what John Brazer is going to dress up as for 80s night. So we'll see. He's got a couple things up his sleeve. Cousin Eddie.
I was Cousin Eddie.
You know the way he dresses anyway, wearing the Vineyard Vine stuff anyway.
He might wear two of them, just like they did back in the day. They used to wear two polos.
I had one of the ones. He has a picture. I was in a bathrobe, boots, Elmer Fudd hat, cigar, and I was Cousin Eddie.
Yes. That's awesome. Played it very well.
Yes. And you've done a bunch of different characters as well.
I did Billy Madison one year.
Top Gun? Did you do any Top Gun?
I did. Well, I definitely wore the suit. You got to wear the jumpsuit every once in a while. So we might have some fun with some of those characters.
Yeah. Trading places. Right?
Billy Ray.
Can we get you in a Santa Claus outfit and a salmon stuck in your beard?
No, that's Tom Burgoyne. That's his favorite scene of all time in any movie.
Is 30 Rotten Scoundrels from the 80s too? Is that 90s?
That could be late 80s. I'm not sure.
Yeah, because
you want to be Rupert?
Rupert.
There you go.
Right. Oklahoma. Nice. All right, so we got that. What else we got? I know we got a sustainable hat.
So that weekend we got a bunch of stuff going on. So that Friday night, PGW Sustainable Cap, and we're playing the Oakland A's.
Yeah.
And for all the historian, they used to be the Philadelphia A's. So we did this cool, and when we played the A's back in the day when they were in Philadelphia, we called it the Philadelphia City Series. So we had a logo made with Billy Penn on it.
Show to the camera.
So we're going to wear it. We little nod to the 30s and 40s when we played the A's when we were both in Philadelphia. So we stuck that on the side of the cap. We got the 1934 Phillies P right there. So that's a sustainable cap. All fans on Friday night.
Yeah. Coca-Cola Photo Day.
Photo Day is awesome. We brought that back last year. That was a lot of fun. Way back. We've been doing that since the 70s. I'm sure you did it a few times.
Yes.
It's a great interaction with the players and the fans on the field. So it is limited field access. So everybody can't get down there, but we'll have a bunch of people down there, and then all the players and the Fanatic and all will roam the field.
Sunday of that A's series, one of the great giveaways. Very unique giveaway. We've never done this before.
Yeah, this is something that Eric Pesch came up with. A bunch of teams are doing basketball jerseys, doing a little mix of sports. So we picked that Nick Castellanos to do a basketball jersey. So they designed this bad boy. Nick likes to show off the pipes every once in a while. So I think he cuts his sleeves off everything he has.
Yes.
So we'll be doing that bad boy right there.
That's cool.
That's gonna be really popular.
Thanks to CP Rankin. It looks like a Sixers jersey.
You're gonna see that around a lot. A lot of kids will be wearing that.
It was funny. I was just talking to the PR guys. I'm like, I hope to play because the players really dig wearing the other players' stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I can see the players.
Yeah,
wearing
they've been wearing that Alec Boehm T-shirt all the time. So I think once we get these, I think we're going to get them when they come back in a week or so. We're going to have them down in Castellanos' locker, and I'm sure some of the guys will be wearing them.
All right, I see a bobblehead out there.
Yeah, so we have the Trey Turner bobble. That's on July 26th. That's our second player bobble this year.
That thing's heavy duty,
thanks to Pico. Yeah, it's a very shiny helmet right there. So that's his follow through after the home run.
Now I assume he's bought off on that pose. Right?
I'm sure.
How about the look too? Because I remember I got in trouble. I went down for J-Roll.
Not you. you got in trouble.
It's funny. One time, way back in the day, I remember showing a figurine to Bobby Abreu, and he was like, "That's not my grip. I do this thing."
Interlock the figure.
Yeah, and he's like, "Come on, I'm prettier than that." I'm like, all right.
You got to get this thing right.
I did get we had enough time to get the grip right, so he was happy.
Did you have to tell Jason Wirth that you weren't responsible for the pink lips?
No, I left that up to Frank Kopenbarger and Kevin Gregg.
Or they're red. It's more red, I guess. Red or
no, it was pink.
Pink, yeah. All right. You also have a beach towel coming up.
Yeah. So Harry Moore, our Fanatic artist, he does the book every year with Tom Burgoyne. So we like the beach towels are real popular in the promotional business, especially living here down the shore and all that stuff. So we're going Schwarbaum this year. So this is a cool
awesome
superhero type.
Show it to the camera here.
Yeah, there you go.
That's me right there, man.
So there you go.
I'm all out
pretty
about
cool.
that.
Yeah, you got the Fanatic on the dugout watching the Schwarbaum home run.
That's awesome.
I got the pool for that back.
You're going to see that down the shore a lot.
That'll be all over the shore.
You got a post-game concert before that, Cascade.
Who's Cascade?
It's an EDM or ED. Yes, I think I said it right. And we have a Miller Lite floppy hat, but also just real quick talk, Wall of Fame.
Yes, we just announced that this week. The great David Montgomery will be inducted on August 17th. Yeah, so that'll be great. We'll have his family back here during the Toyota Phillies Alumni Weekend. So we'll be doing that on Saturday.
And we'll have a lot of guys back for that weekend, right?
Yeah, and then on Sunday our celebration of the 20 years here will culminate on Alumni Day on Sunday. Yep. So we'll have some guys back for that, and we'll be doing some special stuff pregame to highlight the moments of the 20 years.
Awesome. Well, Scott, I appreciate it. It's going to be a fun, action-packed second half. Thanks as always.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Go back to criticizing the backstage of Burgoyne and Brazier because you'll have fresh material because Tuesday the Joe Blanton episode comes out.
I will be listening to that on my way down the shore.
You can see how
Joe, talk about another good guy, man. Joe Blanton.
You'll see the lack of knowledge of wine for both Burgoyne and myself. We tried to ask.
Lack of knowledge seems to be a theme in that podcast.
Wow. It just depends, right? Well, it's usually baseball.
See, that's why you've gotten grayer, right?
And
you have to keep you're in charge of those guys.
All right, coming up in the show, I see the food. I see our favorite guest, Jason Firestone. No offense, Scott, but we get free food from this guy.
I saw Chris over there salivating over there.
Right, I know. All right, coming up on the show, we're going to have Jason Firestone from Aramark. You're listening to the Baseball Insider Show presented by BCWSA. We are live from the CP Ranking Club.
BCWSA customers, former Phillies pitcher Tommy Greene here. I played on the 1993 National League champs, so I know a thing or two about what it's like playing on a winning team. BCWSA has all the ingredients. They make it easy for their customers to get automatic updates by text, email, or phone anytime there is a disruption in your service area. You can even customize your alerts by going to bcwsa.net. That's bcwsa.net. BCWSA, your partner for a safer environment. BCWSA, proven.
Head out to Dion Square, located at South Oxford Valley and South Olds Boulevard, to get all your essentials in one place, with the following businesses ready to serve you: Pat Dion Beverages, CVS Pharmacy, Hair Cuttery, Smile Culture Dental, Biomat, Liberty Auto Tags, Pennsylvania Fine Wine and Spirits, Lee's Hoagie House, R&J Smoothies and Juices, AutoZone, and First National Bank and Trust of Newtown. Make Dion Square your one stop for all your shopping needs at South Oxford Valley Road and South Olds Boulevard in Fairless Hills.
Energy costs are skyrocketing. Now is the time to upgrade your old heater and air conditioning systems to more efficient units to save on your utility bills. Harris Comfort can also handle all your propane needs, as well as providing sales and service on whole house generators. Harris Comfort is still family owned and has been serving our area for over 60 years, providing sales, service, installation, and peace of mind. Call 215-788-4596 or go to harriscomfort.com. Harris Comfort, still family and still local.
At Penn Community Bank, we're in the business of building thriving communities. That means breaking down the barriers to home ownership, supporting fair, affordable access to housing from Philadelphia to the Lehigh Valley, like our Home Opportunity Mortgage that empowers eligible borrowers with no minimum credit score, no down payment, access to grant programs, and so much more. Visit PennCommunityBank.com/home for more details. Penn Community Bank. Here we grow. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender. Account and feature terms, restrictions, and conditions apply.
With over 7,200 square feet of 200 brewers in stock at all times, Pat Dion Beverages now features 5 different flavors of their favorite slushy cocktails. You can also purchase all your wine, liquor, and other fine spirits right next door. Visit us on Facebook or online at patdionbeverages.com for upcoming events and samples from your favorite brewery or local food vendor.
We now return to the Baseball Insider Show, presented by BCWSA. Once again, here are your hosts, Phillies Director of Fun and Games, John Brazer, and former pitcher from the 93 National League champion Phillies, Tommy Greene.
All right, we are back to the Baseball Insider Show, presented by BCWSA, live from the CP Ranking Club at Citizens Bank Park. I'm John Brazer, joined by Tommy Greene. Tom, we've had Sal Agustinelli. That was great, talking about Chooch and Suarez and everybody. We had Scott Brander telling us all about the giveaways, the second half of the season, some of the great promotions. And now we've got Jason Firestone.
This is the man right here.
Jason, you came through today, man.
Yes, you did.
Not that you don't come through all the time, but you really came through today. Because tell us what you have today, what we have in front of us now.
So we
better hurry because I'm woofing mine.
Right.
Just a few weeks ago, we opened CBP's first ever kosher grill in Section 136. So completely kosher. It was something that we've been working on for quite some time because we want to be all-inclusive of all of our fans. So we have a dedicated gluten-free cart, dedicated vegan cart, and now we have a dedicated kosher cart.
Awesome. And so we have pastrami sandwich.
So we got kosher dogs, pastrami dogs. We got hot pastrami sandwiches. We got knishes. We got pastrami egg roll.
That's right here.
Yep.
The one that Tommy Mangle
right now.
And he got, of course, you need some pickles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
So they're open right now. They're humming. It's great to have that option now at the ballpark.
Yes.
Now that's not open on Saturdays and Sundays, right?
Fridays and Saturdays.
Oh, Fridays and Saturdays. Sorry.
Yeah.
Fridays and Saturdays. So it's open today.
Yep. To observe the Sabbath. So so they're closed on Fridays and Saturdays.
Okay. Awesome. How's everything else going? Tell me.
40,000 every day is a breeze now, so it's been great.
That's awesome.
And all the Manco and Manco, I know we had that last week. And that's still going great.
Yeah. It's I mean we sell thousands of pies every day, so it's been awesome.
And PJ Wellahan's and how about that? I always talk about the fish bowl. The cocktail.
Yeah, the fastball freeze. That is the perfect treat for a day game like today.
And also, I see, when did the phenomenon of the plastic bats, drinking beer through the plastic
beer bats? Yes.
When did that start? You see them everywhere.
We started offering them last year, and people are hooked. So we actually just introduced a new bat that comes with a home plate stand, so you can actually set it down without having to hold it the whole time. So,
wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Until the guy next to you knocks it over.
Yeah. Right.
And that's when something starts in the stand. Nothing better, man.
Hopefully it's empty by that point.
All right, I'm going to put you on the pressure. Last question. If you're starving, you come to the ballpark starving, right? And you had one food option, and it's lunchtime, you're starving, what's your go-to item?
I got
you personally. I'm not saying what overall is the best, but you personally.
That's a good question. That's a good question.
Man.
Thank you.
I got mine. If they still have it.
Why don't you tell us what yours is while Jason's thinking?
Mine's that turkey leg they had. I'm a carnivore, man.
Do you still have that out there?
I'm a protein guy.
That was a special. We don't have it on the menu right now, but it's probably going to be making a comeback very soon. So.
Well, make sure when you do make a comeback, because that was one of my favorites too. When you make a comeback, make sure you bring that one.
So I'm going to give a top three. Bull's Barbecue, always solid.
Yeah.
The fried chicken sandwich at Federal Donuts.
Yep.
And Uncle Charlie's Steaks.
All right. Nice. Can't go wrong
with none of those.
Awesome. All right. Well, Jason, I really appreciate it as always.
Thanks, guys.
I can't wait to finish this during the break.
Yeah.
All right, Jason Firestone.
Thank you, brother.
I really appreciate it. All right, Tommy, we are going to, right now, at 12 o'clock, they released the All-Star Final 2.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, we released it last week.
Yeah.
But the finalists, you can start voting.
Yeah.
So even if you voted for all those guys beforehand,
you got to get out there and do it
right
again.
now, it's really important. Bryce Harper's already in.
Yeah.
He got the most of anybody.
Yeah.
Right? But here is who, it comes down to each position has 2 guys.
Yes.
Although the outfield, I think you have 4 guys.
Yeah.
So here's what we have. We'll start in the American League. It's you're voting for Adley Rutschman for the Orioles or Salvador Perez Royals.
Yeah.
For the first base, Ryan Mountcastle for the Orioles, Vlad Guerrero Jr. For the Blue Jays. Second base, Altuve and Semien, right? 2 good guys. Third base, Ramirez for the Guardians, Westberg for the Orioles. Shortstop, Gunnar Henderson for the Orioles, Bobby Witt Jr. Designated hitters.
That's a tough one right there.
Yeah,
man.
I know. Designated hitters, Jordan Alvarez and Ryan O'Hearn from the Orioles. Outfield is Soto, Stephen Kwan from the Guardians, Anthony Santander from the Orioles, and Kyle Tucker.
How about Kwan, man?
Yeah.
He's a player.
Well, and that's why.
That's a player,
and
man.
Cleveland is one of the more underrated, under-heralded.
Yeah.
All right, so here's the important one, because you need, right now you have until Wednesday, I believe, at noon to get all the votes, because even though like someone like Alec Boehm was way ahead, well, now he's back to even. He had 3,175,000. The next place, Manny Machado, was 991.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's all thrown out the window. Now we're there. So you need to go online, MLB.com, Phillies.com/vote. Go online, vote.
Vote.
Yes, so get these guys in. So catcher, it's between William Contreras of the Brewers, who had about 500,000 more votes than JT Realmuto.
Yeah.
I know JT's hurt, but vote Realmuto. All right. For second base, we don't have anybody. Marte for the Diamondbacks, Araz for the Padres.
Yeah.
Third base, we need to get Boehm in. He deserves it,
Yes.
right? Boehm, again, had almost over 2 million more votes than Manny Machado.
Yes.
But let's
start over again.
Let's get Boehm in there.
Yep.
Shortstop, Mookie Betts, who's hurt, so that could help.
Yeah.
He got $2.4 million. Trey Turner got $1.8.
Yeah.
Let's get Trey Turner into the All-Star game. Designated hitter. This is going to be a tough one.
Yeah.
Ohtani versus Schwarber. Schwarber also.
That's a tough one right there, man.
But let's get that Philadelphia spirit. Get Schwarber in there because you know Ohtani's going to make it anyway.
Yeah.
And then the outfield, you've got Jurickson Profar. You got Yelich with the Brewers. You got Toscar Hernandez. Great signing with the Dodgers this year. Tatis Jr., who's just got hurt.
Yeah.
Brandon Marsh and Castellanos.
Yes.
So let's get Marsh and Castellanos. Wouldn't that be great if we get all those guys in?
That'd be great.
Yep. So
show the fan. Get out there and vote, guys.
Yep. So again, you have till Wednesday at noon. So make sure you have the next 3 days. Get those votes in. Get the guys well-deserved in there. All right. Let's get you the lineups for today because we have Miami. We have Jazz Chisholm leading off, playing center field, 2 for 12 in his career versus Suarez.
Yeah.
Otto Lopez, second base, batting second, never faced Suarez. Brian Dela Cruz, left field, batting third, 4 for 15 versus Suarez. Josh Bell batting fourth. He's 2 for 14. He does have a home run, one of those 2 hits, but 2 for 14, pretty good.
Yeah.
Jake Berger hasn't had a hit, 0 for 6 against him. Dane Myers playing right field, 3 for 9. Tim Anderson, shortstop, 0 for 3. Emmanuel Rivera, 3 for 15, batting third. And then Ali Sanchez catching, batting ninth. Facing Yanni Chernos. Yanni Chernos is a 6'2", 225-pound right-handed pitcher. He's had 2 starts this year. He must have been hurt coming in because he's had 2 starts in late June. Did okay. 5 innings pitched, 8 hits, 2 earned runs, a home run against the St. Louis Cardinals. Yeah. And on June 25th against Kansas City, he went 5 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 earned run. Good outing. He had 3 walks, 5 Ks.
Yeah.
He's pitched 5 years in Tampa, 1 year Atlanta last year, and his first year is in Miami.
Yeah.
Sinker, splitter, slider, four-seamer.
He's been around a little bit. You know,
been around, but nothing too crazy. Yeah. For the Fightin' Phils, Stott leading off, batting second. He is 2 for 2 in his career versus Chernos.
Yeah.
Trey Turner, 2 for 2 with a home run, batting second. Bohm batting third, is 1 for 2 in his career. Batting third, playing third base. Batting fourth, center fielder Brandon Marsh, 0 for 1 against him. Cassie's right field, batting fifth, 0 for 2. Clemens batting sixth, playing first base, doesn't have a bat against him. Whit Merrifield playing left field. He is 2 for 6 with a home run against him, so that's good. David Dahl is DHing, and Mershon is catching, batting ninth. Both Dahl and Mershon haven't faced Chernos.
We got to get Bohm back going again. Bohm's got to get back going a little bit. He's below 300 now. I'd like to see him get back up before the All-Star break, hitting over 300. So that means few base hits and a couple games.
We need this win. You can't lose 3 or 4 to the
we got to split
to the Marlins. Now we didn't talk about the weekend baseball really, but we lost 2 the first opening game where we had the lead and Wheeler was pitching.
We could have been better. We could have
gotten out of that inning too if the umpire had called the strike a strike. Then we probably looking at a win there and a different week. But he didn't, and then they took advantage of our bullpen. Had a little bit of leak, and then even last night with Nola, we had a lead, and then same thing. So we just couldn't get. We had 3 2-out hits.
Yes,
which scored runs.
That's right. You got to credit. The Marlins a little bit. They never say died in those innings. They were tough.
They play well against us at home. I got to tell you,
they've been a thorn in our side a little bit.
On the mound today is Ranger Suarez. He is 5-0 at home. He has a 1.57 ERA at home. For the year, he's 10-2 with a 1.83 ERA, leading all of baseball. He's got a great whip, which is second in baseball, .92. So we're looking for good things out of Ranger Suarez.
Just a solid. Just keep doing what he's doing. He's a cool, calm customer, and that's what we got to have with what's going on, Braze. With the injuries and stuff we have, our pitching needs to stay status quo. Give us a chance to win the ball game and get the big hit, timely hit we need.
And that's it. We've had a lot of guys with runners in scoring position.
We've got to get
it
done.
And we haven't getting it done. So, all right, Tommy, that wraps up today's Baseball Insider Show presented by BCWSA live at the CP Ranking Club at Citizens Bank Park. Thanks to my co-host, Tommy Greene, our on-site engineer, Chris Hermer, back in the studio, Stephen Lawler, and thanks also to our guests today, Sal Augustinelli, Scott Brandon, and Jason Firestone. We'll be back next Sunday at Keenan's from 12:30 to 1:30 before the Phillies take on a big game against the Atlanta Braves. Until then, have a great week, and as the late, great Harry the K says,
we're out of here.
Official sportsbook of ESPN.
At the wall, looking up, it's gone.
Don't forget to stay tuned after the game for Phillies playback. The Phillies are built to win now.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
Join Scott